Just like that, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA, the team owners, the Players Association, in the split of an instance, all of it can change. In a split instance, all of it can change. If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA.
The WNBA has only itself to blame for this latest blow. Caitlin Clark, for the first time since her sophomore year of college, will miss a non-preseason game, sidelined for at least 2 weeks with a left quadriceps strain.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least the next 2 weeks with a left quad strain. The Fever are currently 2-2 on the year. Clark has started all 4 games so far and is averaging 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 boards per game. The Fever said more updates will be provided after doctors reevaluate her.
The league is already in full-blown panic mode, and the timing couldn't be worse. Drop a get well soon CC down in the comments to wish Caitlin a speedy recovery. This injury may trace back to preseason quad tightness that was never fully addressed. All this time, Clark's been pushing through pain, battling shady plays from opponents, and being ignored by inconsistent officiating.
The Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight. Caitlin Clark's out 2 weeks.
Something was off with Caitlin Clark from the very start of that May 24th game against the Liberty. Her shots kept coming up short, missing the trademark explosiveness we've come to expect from her deep range. The signs were all there, and it's beyond frustrating. Was she pushing through a leg injury the whole time while everyone just looked the other way? You didn't need to be a doctor to see she was hurting, especially when cameras caught her applying a heating pad to her leg mid-game.
There is literally footage of Caitlin Clark putting heat compression towards her leg. There is literally footage of her putting heat packs on her leg. There is new footage of her heating up her quad when she's playing.
When the MRI results came in, even coach Stephanie White admitted she wasn't sure when Clark had actually gotten hurt. The team didn't realize the severity until they received a message from her after the game. "I'm glad that she did, because we need to nip this in the bud," White said, referring to Clark finally speaking up about her discomfort. That alone tells you just how much pain Clark had been hiding all along.
"I'm at the game. Caitlin Clark does not look right on the sideline. Caitlin Clark is coming out. She has heat compression on her quad. She was playing injured. And ironically, that is probably the best case scenario. That is probably the best thing. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's a bad thing. And trust me on this, it is probably the best case scenario that she's been actually playing through this and she was able to play through this fine.
The team insists this latest injury isn't connected to her preseason issue. But let's be real. When the same muscle group gives out twice in one season, it's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. Here's the truth. Clark sat out the Fever's preseason opener with left quad tightness, then pushed through that same leg in the Liberty game. Now she's dealing with another quad injury, again in the exact same leg.
Maybe this will be the wake-up call that the WNBA needs to clean up the officiating, to actually show that they appreciate this golden goose that has landed in their lap that goes by the name of Caitlin Clark. It's been so long where we've just seen this girl getting beat up in games. We see her get grabbed, hacked, bumped into, knocked on the floor. There's never any whistles from her.
Here's what makes the whole situation even more infuriating. From day one of her rookie season, Caitlin Clark has been dealing with overly physical play. But this year, it's gone to another level. In just the first few games, defenders have been allowed to grab her, knock her off screens, and hit her with hard fouls. Yet the refs barely blink. Game after game, she takes contact that would draw a whistle for just about anyone else. The targeting is obvious, and the officials have done little to nothing to protect the league's biggest star.
What was that play? Oh my God, this is rigged. This is rigged. She got yanked, fell on her hip. That's a hack!
Clark clearly felt the pressure to keep playing through the pain, and Coach White's comment about great players hiding injuries couldn't be more accurate. Clark probably thought she could tough it out like she always has, but this time, her body said otherwise. The harsh reality is this. She's been playing injured while taking constant hits from defenders who knew full well the referees weren't going to step in and protect her.
The league is still resentful of her, it's still jealous of her, and it's still trying to put her in her place and give her nothing, make her earn something that she already earned last year when she put this league on the national map. For the first time ever, it was really, really and truly on the national map.
This injury was entirely preventable, with proper rest after the preseason strain, better officiating to stop the relentless targeting, and medical staff catching the warning signs. Instead, everyone looked the other way as the league's most valuable player was pushed to her limit. Now, the WNBA is living its worst-case scenario, and their sudden scramble to respond only highlights just how heavily they've come to rely on one player.
Caitlin Clark, somebody who was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season, including revenue from merchandise, ticket sales, and television, is out for a minimum of 2 weeks. Minimum of 2 weeks, more like 4 to 6 weeks. Minimum of 2 weeks, because remember, that's when she gets reevaluated. More like 4 to 6 weeks.
Within hours of the injury announcement, the WNBA's worst fear became reality. League executives who had been riding high on Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise were suddenly staring down the terrifying prospect of empty arenas and plummeting viewership. Teams that had banked heavily on Clark's star power were now facing potential financial fallout, and the panic was immediate and unmistakable.
And I'm already seeing people saying, I'm taking a break. I'm already seeing people say, I'll be back in a little bit. These numbers are going to go down. The owners are going to walk into those negotiation rooms feeling themselves. Shout out to Beyonce. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling my... Again, they're lucky this is only a rumored 2 to 4 weeks. Because if the news was the season, people would tune out 100%.
To cash in on the massive crowds Caitlin Clark draws, the Washington Mystics had already moved their upcoming game against the Fever to a bigger venue in Baltimore. Now they're facing a flood of refund requests from fans who bought tickets just to see the star sensation. And here's the real embarrassment: having to explain to disappointed fans that the venue upgrade was all because of one player. And now, that player won't even be there.
There is one thing, no doubt, that's about to happen. The WNBA teams that move their games, this is about to be catastrophic for them. And it's kind of funny.
The Chicago Sky took an even bigger gamble by moving their game against the Chicago Bulls to the United Center. This massive venue upgrade was designed to showcase the league's growth and appeal, but with thousands of empty seats, it risks becoming a disaster. Just picture a nationally televised game played in a nearly empty United Center. That kind of embarrassment could set the league back years.
Yep, that's the Baltimore game. I believe that's about a 15,000 seat arena situation. This one's at the United Center in Chicago. Good luck getting anybody there. Seriously.
The May matchup between the Fever and Sky shattered records, becoming the most watched WNBA broadcast in ESPN history with 2.7 million viewers and a peak of 3.1 million. But those numbers aren't just about love for the league. They're driven by the demand to watch Caitlin Clark. This should send alarm bells ringing for WNBA executives whose entire revenue model hinges on this 23-year-old star. CBS and the league built their marketing around Clark, and now that she's sidelined, advertisers who paid top dollar for her games are likely facing some tough conversations with their media buyers. Sports networks and broadcasters are already bracing for a sharp ratings decline.
Will this be the wake-up call the WNBA needs? Caitlin Clark is out for at least 2 weeks. Now we are going to see what you guys, not just Indiana Fever, we're going to see what type of numbers this league can churn over without her.